Are you working too hard? Are you practicing too much? I know the comment section, some of you are gonna be like popping up. You're gonna be like,
"What you mean you're practicing too much? You can't practice too much."
Our motivation does not work like that. At least, not mine. Not the people I teach. I wasn't practicing 2 hours every day. That wasn't happening. Because what happens is you go and sit down and you're like, cool, I'm gonna practice for an hour. You can say 2 hours, but let's say you're on the lower estimate, right? Because for an hour, okay, you're gonna say you're gonna sit down for an hour and practice. The issue is, one, most of us don't even have. It's like, well, what are you going to practice for that hour? And if it wasn't instant like that, and you don't, oh yeah, I'm just gonna practice, a couple songs and a couple scales. I'm just gonna work through some things. Cool, that's good, but you're gonna be demotivated very quickly, because if you can't measure it, you can't track it, you can't see your progress. And when you can't see your progress, it's quite demotivating to say you've sat there, practiced for all that time. It's still not much closer to your goal. What do you think happens the next time you go and sit down for an hour? You say to yourself you're going to sit down for an hour and practice. When last time you just had an awful practice session, really. It was demotivating for you because you got bored. You ended up just playing the same things over and over again. What do you think's going to happen? All of a sudden, you wake up later, oh yeah, you got tidying, you got school stuff, you got homework, or you're coming in from a job, and there's all these different things that are calling for our time. The approach I prefer is to build habits, okay? So one book I definitely recommend you look into and read is a book called The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy, okay? Now, this is the key. It's like the compound effect, okay? It's the idea of that it gradually builds over time, but the consistency over time, the results compound and get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So what starts off as being something small and simple then becomes a lifestyle, becomes a habit, okay? And this is the key. If we can make practice into a habit, it becomes 10 times easier. And this is what I'm working through right now. When I was at music uni, it was easy because all I had to do was music, I was just going to lectures, going home, rehearsing for a gig, the odd gig or two, and starting. So I used to wake up at 5:30 and practice for an hour. When I hit that second year, that's what I did. And I saw massive improvement. Now, working in music, that's become a lot harder to do. Not that I don't have the time to do it, but the motivation to. Because we spend a lot of time learning songs, and then actual practice, this is the thing, we can play songs and it's not necessarily practice. You're not actually necessarily developing your skills or pushing your boundaries any further. If you actually sat down and said, okay, I'm gonna work on this one area of your playing, okay? It might be working on fluidity between two chords. I might have a chord loop going for 20 minutes and just work out. I might go through working on different changes, different lines and ideas into that for 20 minutes. That's an effective practice session. What I would love for you guys to try, if you struggle with practice, there are going to be some people on here, and if they are here, they'll be in the comments, who have no issue with practicing for a few hours a day. And if that's great, but that's not the majority. So if you're not one of those people, what I want you to try is, we're gonna make this a habit, because once it becomes a habit, it becomes second nature, okay? And you trying to force yourself to do 1 hour, 2 hour sessions, however many times a week, the chances of that actually happening are pretty slim. And if it does happen, you're not gonna enjoy it. You're not gonna find it rewarding, And realistically, long term, are you going to keep doing that? Probably not. So we're going to set a timer of 15 minutes. And if you can't get 15 minutes in your day, I mean, yeah, you got bigger problems. You got bigger problems than worrying about your bass practice if you can't have 15 minutes in your day. So yeah, 15 minutes every day. Like every day, you're just gonna pick up your bass for 15 minutes. Just the start of playing your bass for a given time every day. And 15 minutes is not gonna become monotonous. You can pick one little exercise. You can go to my channel, look at a lick, look at one of those licks for 15 minutes. If you can't play at full speed, great, even better. Look at the lick. I'll break it down slowly. Have a look at playing it. Or work through a particular scale, work through a particular chord. The idea is to have focused practice, like focus on a particular area, just for those 15 minutes. And you can extend that across. You could do the same, focusing on that particular area in those 15-minute chunks across the week, and you should be able to track and see your development through that. So one thing you can do is to record yourself. Set up your phone voice note recorder or even actual video, but a voice recorder does fine. You just press record whilst you're doing your practice and listen back to it. Listen back to your first day, listen back to your 5th day, for example. You should begin to hear the difference, and if you don't hear it, you should begin to definitely feel it, because you're building a habit, you're building that muscle memory. Like everything's gonna come that much more smoothly. Actually, I'm gonna set a different challenge. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do 30 days of straight practice. So every day you're gonna squeeze out 15 minutes consecutively. If you miss one day, your 30 days starts again. I'll be honest with you, I am not the type of person that enjoys going down to sit down and practice. However, once I get in the zone, that 15 minutes can turn into a 2-hour session easily. But if I want to stop after that 15-minute chunk, I can. Because it's building that consistency, that habit in there. So, I mean, you try it. If you don't like this, if you don't like this idea, try it. Go and practice 30 days in a row, not skipping a day. If you skip a day, you have to start again from the beginning. The only person you can cheat is yourself. You know, I'm not gaining anything from this, from you practicing for 30 minutes a day. It's not earning me any money. It's not making me a better player. Go do it and see if you don't notice the difference. When I started practicing consistently, like day after day after day, that's when things started to click 10 times easier. I want you to actually record every day. Record it, do it, test it out, do it consistently. And if you do it consistently, listen to day 1 and listen to day 30, or just feel the difference from day 1 to day 30. It's gonna be a difference. With that rant, I'm done. You hear a lot of people talk about, oh, the hours of practice here, there. Yeah, that's cool, but you need to build up the habit. You need to build up the mental reward of practice. It's same with like gym, fitness, all of that. You know, no one's ever got wham from going to the gym once for 10 hours. It doesn't happen. No one's ever got fat from eating one burger, one cheesecake, one deep fried Mars bar. It don't happen. It's a lifestyle thing. That's what gets you fat, or hench, or ripped, or super fit, or makes you a great player. It's lifestyle, habit. And I'm working on mine, so I can go from good to great. But anyway, bass cleft. You see this? It's a beautiful hat. I know some of you want to rock it. I'm gonna put a link below. Go buy about 10 of those and give them to every bass player you know. Send them to the site and we can build this team. Stay bass cleft.